I have an underactive thyroid gland I've had since I was 12 years old. Do you want to know how it all started? Then let's begin. Here we go. It always starts off with levodoxine or thyroxine as you want to call them, or levodoxine or whatever. And obviously the strength has altered actually through the years, and you do it by a blood test, and it just measures, just to find out, give you where that balance is, where your thyroid should be. Make sure that you making enough thyroxine to cope with your body. Basically, that's all it is. So, I always, because I'm on so much medication, I always like to be sort of like strictly organized. And there's a top come off this one, but I have it there, so don't worry about that. And it looks like this one's actually coming off as well, so I'm gonna have to get another one. But it still does the job for now. And I organise my thyroxine in these compartments, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that sort of stuff. Organise it because I'm on that much medication, guys. I like to be organised and know where I'm at. And not only that, I always seem to make a list as well to write down what I'm taking, and then I know when I've taken it, the time and stuff like that. So it's probably good that if you guys are on a lot of medication or anything, or you're so busy living active lives or anything, it's always best to, just to jot a note down and keep a record of it. Like, say, for example, you had paracetamol at 12:15, so you can have them every 4 hours. So it just gives you a guideline of when you had your last medication, apparently, and what you take, what you've taken for it. So first of all, I will get to the beginning of how this started in a moment. And here we go. Levodoxine, 50 microgram tablets. So I'm gonna put the 50 microgram tablets in the compartments. I haven't had them today, so first of all, I am going to organize them, and I'm gonna put them into my little pill container. So here we go. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. 4. Number 5. Number 6. And number 7. Always check to make sure that you've got them all in order. You're not putting a double dose in there or something. That's what might be me panicking, but I always like to check anyway. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so now we've done the 50 micrograms. Done that, so we move on to the next ones. Here we go. 100 micrograms. Ah, this is just struck a thing. I'm sure the doctor actually lifted my thyroxine up to 175, and I've just realised I'm still on 150. What are these doctors doing to me? And I wonder if that explains why I'm so fatigued and thirsty and feeling cold all the time. This could have a point actually, why I'm feeling the way I am. So, but the doctor never said anything about me about lowering my medication. It just put on a different dose. So that's quite interesting to know, and I will take that up with the GP in just a moment. I'm going to find out why that is, because if that is a fact that he's lowered my dose when it said before I needed the dose, building up a bit more. This is a good job I did this video, guys. And it's sort of like, sometimes, well, it just shows you these videos are really good to do. It's good to know, innit? So, right, okay, let's not get confused with this. Okay, so we're on the 100 microgram tablets now, and I'm going to put them on each compartment up here. Okay, here we go again. What day are we today? I don't know what day we are today. Just testing. Alright then, Wednesday. I'll take my dose now. So we're on Wednesday, and so I'll take the first batch of Thyroxine now. So here we go, guys. It's always best to start off with a drink of water. I mean, I've got no water in my cup and I'm going to get always organised for this as well. So hold on a second, guys. I'm going to get some more water, guys. I'm just going to pause it for a minute while I just get some more water, okay? Okay, guys, I'm back and I've just got some water to take my Thyroxine. So let's get this taken. And I'm going to ask the doctor to give me a call to find out why my dose has been... I don't even know, I don't actually know when he has actually dropped this. It could have been like that for a while and I've probably not even realised it. I've just took my medication and that's the end of it. Just shows you always best to keep tabs on these doctors, you know, because you never know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna have to take these Thyroxine, and then I know I've taken these, guys, so it won't be a moment. Here it goes. So small. Just so small. And with them actually being so small, they sort of can drift off around your mouth or something and get stuck in your throat because of that. They're really so tiny. These tablets are actually really so tiny. And so it's best just to hopefully just get them down. And make sure they've gone down as well. You see, the thing is, if I drink too much water to make sure they've gone down, what happens to me is what's happening now is that my stomach, you know, like it sort of like builds up and flares right up, and it gives me the most extraordinary amount of pain you can think of. It's sort of like blowing up. It's sort of like this, and it'll go. It's so bad. It's very embarrassing. It's an awful condition to live with, and then when people look at you and from the outside, and they see you with a tummy that's sort of like, I don't know, out here or whatever it is, they'll say, oh, she's just fat, that's all. That's all it is, she's just fat. And but it's not, because if that was the case, because my stomach won't go swollen like that when I try and eat and drink something, then once you wait about an hour or so, your stomach goes really right down. Oh God, so much far down. I could not believe how far it had gone down. You know, and then you would not think of it, but because I have this serious condition with these stomach disorders and stuff, it's... And endometriosis, does that ring a bell to anybody? There's so much happening in my life, guys, it's unbelievable. And I'm going through, like, well, I've actually been through more than 5 pregnancies and had 3 cesarean sections, which actually doesn't help, but that's the nature, I suppose. That's just part of being a woman. We have to go through these things and grin and bear it and get on with it, sort of thing. But I've been through like 3 cesarean sections, and I've had 2 pregnancies where they've been delivered with forceps, and there's another name for something and I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it's sort of like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't pronounce the word. And it's something whereabouts like when, if they think you're having difficulty with your pregnancy, getting the baby's head out and that sort of stuff, okay, yeah, they use the forceps and things like that, I know all that. But there's something else, what they call, where they sort of like open it with the forceps, and then they sort of like cut down from the vagina. They cut sort of like right down to the rectum. There's a name for it and I just can't think. If you guys, well, if you ladies know or anybody knows what it's called, then let me know down below. I just can't think what it's called. I just honestly can't. I thought it was something beginning with a G or something like that. I just can't really remember. But apparently it's where they sort of like, oh yeah, they got the forceps where they open the side of try and get the baby's the head out, should I say, and sort of like get out. But with it being my first and second pregnancies, I didn't do very good with them. And so what they decided to do is sort of like, well, they do actually give you like a little, supposed to be like an anaesthetic, but if that was an anesthetic, then I like to know what was, because it just felt like they never did anything like that, and it just sort of like cut from the vagina right down to the rectum, like they were carving sort of like meat out of a butcher shop or something. It was so, okay, I don't want to be so graphic, but it was so bad. It's horrible. But you see, the thing is, when you're in so much pain going through your labour, you don't think about anything else. You just think about, I just want to be out of this pain, basically, and that's the sort of what you do. I had actually sort of like gas and air and that sort of stuff. I didn't have time for like any epidurals or anything like that, but I wanted some water births. I wanted to have sort of like a water birth, but I never got round to that. So it just, they thought it was gonna just come quickly. I wouldn't have time anyway, but maybe I don't know. All I know is that I just wanted to be out of pain right now. I couldn't be bothered about any water births or anything just right now. I just wanted something done right now and the pain to be gone. But apparently, yeah. So they did it with both of my first and second labour. They sort of like did the same thing, and then they sort of like got these surgical scissors and sort of like cut from the vagina straight down to the rectum, and it was you sort of got like, this is a bit of a graphic part, so if you don't want to hear it, I'll just sort of like move it on now, but I'll keep it more formal. Kind of. Anyway, so basically what happened then, well, common sense should tell you, when we cut something, we pour with blood, and the amount of blood I could not believe, and I can still see it actually when I'm talking about it now, that when they cut straight down, all I can just see now is the hospital bed being in the delivery suite, and the blood when she cut, sort of like, I saw her later. I don't know, it was just something out of a horror movie. It was so graphic, it was so horrible. I don't think you guys want to know all the gory details of it. So, but it was horrible. You just saw all the blood going everywhere, all off the bed, and it was sort of like going all over the hospital floor. It was all over the place. But I don't know. But I'm not sure if they botched things up. That midwife did that, because I don't know, but all I know how bad it was, and that's the main thing. And that happened twice, for my first and second labours. Now the third labour and the third pregnancy and the other two pregnancies that I had was actually different. I got prepared for those, because I thought I don't want to go through that again, because it was so bad, and it takes a lot of actually time healing as well, when your body needs time to heal. It's not the sort of best of places where you like to be wanting to wait to be healed, because it takes so long. But when you sort of like go to the loo, that soon you have like things like a wee and stuff like that, and that it burns. It sort of like really burns, and it hurts so bad, because it's from the vagina to the rectum, and you just get anything on it, like urine or anything like that. I don't think we want to go there, guys. I'm not going to go through that on this video anyway. So if we want to talk about pregnancy and birth, I'll talk about that in another video. This is about thyroxine. How did I manage to get to that? But that's basically what happened in that anyway. And as you know, through your pregnancies and things like that, you've got to have lots of blood tests and stuff like that to find out. And so I had problems with type 1 diabetes and things like that. I've got this underactive thyroid problem, and some other health problems and stuff, and that with my stomach disorders and stuff like that, and asthma. Oh god, I could write a book. Alright then, let's get back to this thyroxine, guys. I'm not sure if you have an underactive thyroid problem or overactive thyroid, but Or if you're just looking for advice, or you might think you've got a thyroid problem or a underactive one, well, you don't really know until you've had a blood test to say what type you are. But what I can tell you guys, if you think you have got a thyroid problem going on there, first of all, what your GP will do, run through the symptoms and what you're experiencing, like tiredness, you're thirsty, you know, it's a swelling sort of like in your gland area that it comes out, alright, but like a toad sort of thing. But that's the way I look at it. But and there's other kind of like symptoms like feeling cold and other kind of like issues going on with the thyroid problem. So the first thing your GP will do is sort of like run a blood test and just to check that if your thyroid is working, you know, normally, or does it need sort of like some medication just to keep it up to the right level. And apparently it's something to do within your brain or something, the thyroxine, it sort of like replaces something. So your doctor can do all that through a simple blood test, and then when if they found you did have a thyroid problem, even if it be underactive or overactive, they can move on and get the right type of medication for you guys to take, depending whereabouts your thyroid is and what your GP feels you think you need to take. But they have a good idea. So basically that's what it is. So it's not only for people that have a thyroid problem, it's for also for people that think they might have a issue going on with the thyroid gland there. So it's always best, even if your doctor doesn't, suggest about any blood test or anything like that. If you feel that you really think you have a thyroid problem in any way, my advice to you guys is just to get that blood test done. Don't let anyone sort of like bamboozle you and say, no, I don't think that's what's going on here. But if that's sort of like burning in the corner of your mind that you think that you might have that problem, then I suggest that you guys go and get a thyroid test done. They can do all your thyroid function tests done, and then just just to see basically where it is. So yeah, I've had one since I was about 12-year old, and it all started off when I was going through a lot of depression. I was sexually abused from the age of 5-year old by 3 men, and I don't want to really go actually really back through this, but it all started going back to when I was about 12-year old, and I got to the stage later on I just didn't want to live anymore. It just felt so painful, and living with these emotional battles and scars and stuff, and they didn't seem to want to heal, and I just kept having nightmares and flashbacks about things, and I just don't wanted to be here anymore. I just felt like I can't live a life living in misery and depression and pain and that sort of stuff, living back through my childish past and things like that. And I don't know, but I just thought that it might be better that I wasn't around anymore. And so basically I did try to commit suicide. I tried to take a load of like paracetamol, got boxes of paracetamol, and I gathered them all up, and I thought, okay, Jesus, forgive me for what I'm gonna do now, but I feel like it's the right decision that I want to do right now, because I can't live through my pain, and please will you forgive me for what I do now. And which is not always acceptable in a religious manner, and because there's only God that can tell you when you live or when you die. He's a judge in everything. How long you're around for, or how long you're not around for, when he wants to call for you, he will call for you at any time. But yeah, so anyway, so I tried to tempt this, and basically I took all these paracetamol and just wanted to go to sleep after that. I just took loads and loads, any amount I could just get rolled up and just hopefully go to sleep, and that was it. I didn't take more than anything else or anything. I just took plain paracetamol, just one after the other, another, and just keep taking them until I know now they've cut down a lot of stuff like that because you're only allowed to buy one box, or was it 2 boxes or something. But anyway, they have cut down with it, but it doesn't really make a difference because if people want to commit suicide, they're gonna pile up and all the, all the tablets they're gonna get, aren't they? So if they keep get 2 one week, they can get another 2 the other way, and they could still do it. So it's not going to stop people, is it, to not want to commit suicide? So it's a bit of a stupid thing by just wanting to take, like, but guys, you could only take about 1 or 2 or something like that out of a shop, and yet the person can still do it or anything. But I don't know, they've got some funny ways today. Funny ways. But anyway, guys, it just proved that God wanted me here today. After all the times I have tried to want to take my life, God has said, no, you are not going to die. I am not ready for you yet. There's so much work that you have to do down here to help people out. And, and so that's basically the reason he kept me around. So anyway, if you just guys are wondering what this black thing is just up here, it used to be a wall light that used to be at the back of me, and it was sort of like wired off with just a little bit of black tape. But cause sometimes when you're looking at it from your point of view, you can see this black sort of like thing on the wall, and you're probably wondering what's out there. It's not a spider anyway. If it was a spider, I would not be here. Believe me, I'd be out. But no, it's just like a little black pieces and one at the other side, but you guys probably can't see that one from here, but that's what it was. It was just like a sort of black blanks that was on. There used to be wall lights, and with things being moved around and sort of stuff, they're sort of now exposed, but that's another story. Anyway, getting back to this video, so yeah, I'm gonna have another drink. Well, the thing is, you see, with me, another thing I want to tell you guys, that the thing is that when I take medications, they'll sort of go down, but my problem that I'm having is that as soon as you try to swallow back down, you think they're gone, and then what happens with my stomach, they'll revert back up, if you understand what I mean. They'll sort of go down, wait a bit, and then they'll, from the stomach, then they'll come back up into the throat, and I'll be retching and horrible. Now I can feel them coming back up again, so this is why I'm going to have this bit of water that's going to be left. So it's a big problem. Plus, we do need to stay hydrated in this weather, don't we? Because it's so warm. I just want to make sure they've gotten down, they're not going to come back up again. Also, I have some sinus issues going on at the moment again. And what I am getting like this big thick like mucus on my lungs and in my throat. It's something to do with the acid reflux, I believe, and it can actually do with asthma, the doctor tells me as well, but whatever it is, it's horrible anyway. And I do have honey, I do have lemon, I have all the herbal teas you can think of under the sun. I have each and every one of them because I love things like that anyway. And so if you say, oh, have you tried lemon, have you tried ginger, have you tried... I've tried them all, guys. I've tried them all, but I always keep them in my cupboard because I think everyone should, because you never know when you're going to get a time when you might be needing them. So it's always best to keep them around the house. And that's basically it. I need to write them down. I'm way ahead of myself, guys. I need to write them down. Alright, here we go. Alright, okay. Right now I've got them on my list. So far I've taken Tramadol, a horrible evil pain reliever, which I have to take and that for the rest of my life. Well, not the rest of my life, but it seems that way. I've been on them for so many years and I just don't... Oh. Anyway, then paracetamol and then thyroxine basically, so... Then after that I'll need to take the ranitidine, and I'll need to take the domperidone Domperidone is to help with my swallowing and anti-sickness. I do have the cyclizine, which also helps with severe sickness as well, but they're both sickness drugs anyway. You're probably saying, why you take two anti-sickness drugs for when they're both supposed to do the same thing? No, well, not actually. Okay, they're for sickness and stuff like that, but the domperidone actually help with the swallowing problem that I have. It's supposed to relax the muscles in the throat and stop them from going into spasm, because I have a lot of neck spasms and spasms in the throat and stuff like that with the acid reflux, which triggers it off. And so apparently the domperidone sort of supposed to control that problem I have and help to swallow. I have a major problem with swallowing. I have a real bad problem with swallowing and that. And they can't sort of like do an operation, because if they tighten a certain part of the valve up, and we're having difficulty swallowing anyway, and they tighten that up, I won't be able to swallow at all, and I'll just choke and die. That's basically what it is. They can't do that, you see. So supposed to relax this muscle in my throat to help, like food go down and stuff like that. And then when you feel sick after it and it wants to come back up, and that, it sort of like just takes care of that problem. Now the cyclizine is another really strong anti-sickness drug. So when it is really, really, really severe, as it has been now, I've been taking the cycling for that, but it really, really does make you ill, guys. The cycling one, the anti-sickness one, really, really, really makes you poorly. And I have also noticed when I have the cyclizine, when it wears off in the next few hours, I will get a severe headache, and I mean a severe headache. And I'm thinking, oh no, have I picked something up? Have I got a virus? Have I got this or something? What's going on? But I've realised that it's to do with this tablet called cyclizine. But the thing is that if I don't take it, or you guys probably say, why can't you give you something else that's not too much? No, because they've done a review on all my medications at the hospital over the years, and the doctors done umpteen. They know what they're sort of like they're doing, and the one they've given to me that they know I can take, because I react with a lot of tablets. I have a big issue with certain tablets I can take and what my body will accept. It's a long story, guys, but it's a long story. So the doctor knows what he's doing with stuff like that. So I have that when it's really bad anyway. So yeah, so basically what I was saying is, you guys, if you think you have a thyroid problem, I would go to your GP and ask you if you could do a blood test to test your thyroid. If you think you have sort of symptoms, you can actually find out the symptoms if you check it out on the internet and find out, some of the symptoms, and see if you feel like you could possibly have it. Or if you do have it, then you know what I'm talking about. Mine is actually underactive, and I had it when I was 12-year old, when I tried to commit suicide. They rushed me into hospital, and one of the gynecologists, was it the gynecologist? No, it wasn't. It was the, I know which doctor it was. It was Dr. Edgell, I can remember that. But I was only 12 when they noticed that I had a swelling in my throat, and they thought I had to have this problem tested. So I remember being on children's ward, and they did some sort of test, because they noticed that I had this problem that was wrong, and I had my throat that was, swollen. So off the off chance, they decided to do a test, and it turned around that I actually had a thyroid problem. So there we go. But the doctor that did it all was called Dr. Edgell, I remember that. I don't even know what she's doing now. I know she's definitely moved on, but I don't know about where she is or anything. But I just can't exactly remember her role. Okay, Dr. Edgell, she's a doctor, right? But she did something else, and I don't know. It was such a long, long time ago, guys. Such a long time ago. But the main thing is that they found it and put me on these levothyroxine, and so I've been on them since about 12-year old. So And there we go, there we have it. But it is a major problem, and it does interfere with your health and stuff like that. So it also has problems with weight issues and stuff like that as well. That's why they got to keep it to a decent level. And if you have like an overactive thyroid problem, you're very active. You can't stop. You just want to be on the go all the time, and you can't stop, and you're rushing around all over the place. And them sort of like guys are more lucky ones. The thin, basically, they're slim. Well, but when you think about it, running around and so active and stuff like that, but with a underactive one, you sort of put weight on with an underactive thyroid problem. You do put weight on with that, so it's very important that you do take your medication. That's to me because I forgot to take a few doses, guys. Not good. So my problem will not be so good. So that's why I managed to try and write things down now, and then I know which I've taken and so on and so forth. But that's about it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with that for now. Any questions or anything I want to ask, leave a comment down below. Don't be frightened to ask anything, any question or whatever. And leave a question down below if you want to query something, or you're concerned about something or something. If you want to just drop me a message underneath and just let me know. Okay, and that's about basically it for this video for now. Until next time. Also, before you go, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, and you can be updated with new videos I'm going to make. Not every one video is going to be the same. It's not going to be all music or singing or whatever. It's all going to be a mixture of kind of things like cooking and sort of like medications, health, music, outings, or whatever it is. It's all kind of different. It's not all the boring old same thing. So I like to keep a sort of like some sort of like things, just keep it. What some people might find it's interesting that they might have this problem, and there's a video saying about it. So it helps people out with kind of the medical kind of things and things like that as well. So it's also interesting for that. Don't forget to click on that little bell, guys, and so you can be notified when a new video is released. Okay, so if you can subscribe to my channel, and I will hope to speak to you guys soon. So as always, I will see you later. Goodbye.